Hello everyone, welcome to the video series on UFT automation. In this video, we will look at parameterization. We will continue where we left off in the other video. In the other video, we parameterized the sample application reservation, where we had two records in our global sheet where it went in and made a reservation. Started the application, made a reservation, closed the application, and then it went in again, logged in again, and made a reservation and closed. That means you logged in, made a reservation, closed, then logged in, made a reservation, and closed. Meaning, if you look at our canvas view, it executed this thing as a loop. That means it executed two loops. Started with init, started the application, went to exit, went back again, did the same thing. So what if you want to log in once, meaning you'll start the application, you'll log in, and you want to iterate the make a reservation action so that you can book like 3 tickets at the same time while you're in, and then exit the application. So when you want to run scenarios like that, then that's when we will utilize the local sheets. So as you saw before, I was kind of mentioning, and we took the default option of global sheet, and this is what is a global sheet. The data in global sheet is accessible to all the actions, but every action comes with its own data sheet, and that is referred to as local sheet. Now, when you create an action, number one, of course, it appears here on your left-hand side within the solution. Say, for example, let's start with login, right? So we know when we create an action, we it appears on the left-hand side. We give it some meaningful name, and when we record, or maybe you manually write your steps, they appear here in the middle in your editor or in your keyword view if you're looking at it. In addition to that, it will have object repository. If it is using local object repository, meaning this object repository is local to the action, and if I go to make reservation, the object repository changes dynamically. If I go to login, I see login related object repository. So as I was recording, all the objects that I touched gets recorded, as you have seen in the other video. In addition to this, every action also gets its own data sheet. So the data within the data sheet is accessible to that particular action. And by default, the way this works is, the data here gets iterated. So that is what we'll be looking at in this video. So let us do this, and it's a good practice. I don't have, or I didn't prepare a script for this. Let me remove the global data sheet in a longer version of, if I had to do this at work, I could have done it directly editing the script, but that will not help you to learn. Let me clean up the whole mess here, right? That meaning I'll remove the whole parameterized information, make it constant, and then I'll go back and make it parameterized again using local data sheets. So let me do this. Let me start with the login script, and here. So easiest way to do this is again going into our keyword view. I'll go here, and here this is the row that was done, so I'm going to click there, and I'm going to use constant. But of course, when I switch to constant, I need to give some value, and this is what agent name is Mercury, and I can give test. That's fine. I'll just copy this password here. I'll go here. There's the password thing. Go to constant. copy the whole thing. I can always fix it later. Oh, it got the whole thing. And next, those are the only two things here. And next, I'm going to go to the make reservation. So what we have is a date field. The parameter, make it a constant. Then we'll go to fly from Paris. So primarily I'm removing all the parameterization from the script and making the script with with constant values. So here name, number of tickets, done. So most of removed everything. We had nothing within the exit. So here, make reservations. Now take a look at this. It's a Frankfurt, London, Paris, London in global. Let me show you the impact of having records here, but we haven't used anything within our script, but we just have records. These are just dummy records. Let's go ahead and see the impact of it. Now, if you had followed what I was explaining you should guess the fact that this script is going to run twice with whatever information was there within the system. So let's go ahead and fix this issue first. Okay, the issue is here. It'll be good for you to understand this as well. Let me go into view, editor view, set. Okay, see, this is the issue here. This is the line that failed. So let's go ahead and run it one more time so that you can see where it's failing. Start the application, and it didn't pass anything into the agent name field, and it tried to click OK. That's where the problem is. So let me close this, stop that. So the thing is that these constants have to be in double quotes. That's the problem. And let me switch to the editor, to the keyword view, and when you enter the data here, make sure you just start, this is what I had, that was the problem. I'm just showing it to you in the keyword view. You can just put double quotes and then it's taken care. Now let's go ahead and run the script. Okay, there's another problem. There's a problem with the date. And it's in Denver. Let's stop that. Let's fix that real quick. Now Paris, there's no double quotes there. So let's go to view, editor view. So I need that there, I need that, I need that. Now let's go ahead and run it. Now you know what? Let me fix this one as well. Okay, Paris, London. And start again. Paris, London again. So it booked 2 tickets. It started the application, Paris, London, close the application. Started the application again, did Paris, London, and close the application. Now, look at the data in the spreadsheet. We have Frankfurt, London, Paris, Denver. But within the script, we had Paris, London. So it was just executing the script. Even if we are not using this data, by the way, there's no reference to the spreadsheet within our script. So even if I remove this data this way, notice the dark lines. So according to UFT, you still have 2 rows in there, and my environment is set to run all rows. So even with this, the way this is set, if I were to run the script will run twice. I will not complain because I'm not using anything from the global sheet. Paris, London. It's going to start the application again, do the similar reservation, Paris, London. Right? But the right way to delete records within the data sheet is select the records that you want to delete, right click it, edit, and delete from here. You can do Control K using shortcut or delete from here. Now there will be no dark lines. And to delete the columns, just right click that, edit, delete. So now this is back to normal state. And now if we run the script, it should only run what? Once. It's done. So we know that now the script runs once and it uses the data that we have within the script and it's back to normal state. Now let us go ahead and start using the local sheet, which is these specific to the action, and start using those and see the kind of impact it would have. What I want to do is I want to log in once. So as we know, for every record in the global sheet, the whole thing, that means the whole thing runs once, meaning if you go to this thing, every action will start at the top, go all the way to the end for every row that you have in the global sheet. But if you have multiple rows here, that's a different story. So we want to log in once. That means the login is for the throughout process. So maybe we can use login for what? Well, you can use global sheet for logins. To book multiple tickets, maybe we want to just, the whole idea is to just rotate this, iterate through this action. So that would be our goal. So let us go ahead and start parameterizing. One of the ways to do parameterization is, I showed you using keyword view, where you go to the cell, click on little button. Let me go there. And you go to the appropriate cell that you want to parameterize and click this little button that shows up there, right? So instead, what we will do is use another technique here. Actually, the option under tools, you have data driver. You click on that. What you see is the constants that this script is applying. You see that. Now let's say you want to parameterize. This is the login. This is the password. We can click on it, parameterize step by step. So that's the password. And what we want to do is parameterize using, I clicked on it here, said local sheet. Sorry, we want to do this for global sheet. So, and let's the name we want to give it as, this is a password. So password goes there. We'll do next, finish. We'll pick the second one, parameterize. You can do all if you want to. Log in, and we will accept the default, which is global. Give it a name. So login, next, finish. So all the constants that we were passing within this action now are parameterized, and we are using global sheet. Click OK. Now the next we'll go to make a reservation. I'm going to parameterize a couple of things from using data driver option and remaining from keyword view. Let me start with the keyword view. This is here is the date. I'm going to click here. So I'm going to parameterize. So instead of using global sheet, I'm going to pick the current local. This is a local sheet primarily, local to action. I need to give a name. This is the date. Okay, so as you can see here, the system automatically switched from global to the local spreadsheet. This is for make reservation. So I'm going to do Paris here from here. parameterize, and the name would be from city local sheet. As you can see, it adds, uses the column that's next to it. Let me correct the name. So it added two. I'll go ahead and delete this one. Oh, I can do Control. Okay. Next, remaining values, I'll use the data driver option. So as you can see here, two constants, parameterized, it says nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a little interesting. We already parameterized a few things. Oh, let me save the script and then go to Tools, Data Driver. So now the two are gone. Now we only see one, this city name and number of tickets. Let me start parameterizing now. I'll do parameterize all. Do this, data table. The name would be, let me make it simple. Step by step, mask number 5, and we know this is the number of tickets. So let's say tickets. Next, and then we have tickets. Oh, this is done. Parameterize the values too. Next is John Peter, which is the name. That's the name. Parameterize, we'll use local name. Oh, looks like tickets went into global. Let's go ahead and fix that one. Let's fix this one first. Next, flight to local sheet. Finish. So let's go ahead and look at the one that we messed up, because in the global the tickets went here. We want to use the global from the local action. So let's go to let's try this from here. View expert, view editor view, view keyword view, and then so now I'll show you it from a editor perspective. So the number of tickets, we want to switch this to local, and there are a couple of things you can do. You can just say, instead of DT global, you could say DT local. Now for number of tickets, it's here. We need to send it here. Let's say you want to put it here, then it would be column E. So instead, what I can do is do this, and then go to global, and we can do Control K, delete that, set to 5. While you're in this action, go to Tools, Data Driver, Parameterize. Next, we'll use a local sheet, tickets. Finish. And the column name is this. So for anytime wherever you see DT local or DT global sheet, the one right next to it on the left hand side is the actual column name. So that will help you when you look at a specific row and you see data table in there, and then this tells you if it's coming from local sheet or global sheet, and that gives you the column name. Now that the way our script is, the user ID password are in the first global sheet, not first, I mean to say the very first sheet, which is global. So it's going to log in with this, and then it's making a reservation here. So what we can do is, let's actually see if this works. Let's go ahead and run it real quick. So it's trying to use the DT global sheet. Global sheet, click one, stop, line 7. Line 7. Flight reserve hectares, mast field. You know what? This is not necessary. Just click. Let's go ahead and comment it. Because this is applying the date. Because date is the first parameter that you're passing in the reservation screen. I don't know how it got inserted there. Probably I dragged some object and it showed up there. Okay, so it ran the global and it ran the action, all these actions, and took the data from here because there's no data within the script. Let me do this. I'm within the make reservation tab or the sheet, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to make this one ticket, Paris, I'll say London. Oh, where is the to city? Oh, two cities here. So London, this will be Denver. 3. Make another copy. Let's say Paris to Denver. So Paris to London, London to Denver, Paris to Denver. And this will make it 5, maybe a different number, 7. Let me go ahead and run the script. So logging in, making the very first reservation. Oh, it actually closed. Let's take a look. So it only processed one record within the action. So when this happens, or if this happens for you, what you need to do is go to action properties. These are you need to go into expert view, canvas view, go to the reservation, say action call properties, because you're calling that action. It says run one iteration only. So it will process one record from your local sheet. Rather, we should say run on all rows. So now let's see the kind of impact this has. So Paris, London. So on the left hand side you can see make a reservation. It's doing again London to Denver. So it did not log in, it did not exit. Now Paris to Denver, as long as we pass the right values, or correct values, and it will just work. Close. So as you have seen, it actually logged in, ran 3 times, and then exited. Let's go look at the results, because it will be interesting to look at it, because the action ran once, and then it ran. The login ran once, and then the make reservation ran 3 times. That's fine. There might be some checkpoint failures. That's okay. So init summary, login, make a reservation. Look at here. Yeah, make a reservation iteration 1, 2, and 3. For every step you'll have, or every row you'll have all the information you need. So if you have a checkpoint, it will check every time you go through the iteration. Well, so that's how you use your DT local or local sheets. So just to summarize the behavior, if you have multiple rows in global, every action the whole structure gets executed multiple times as long as you're set to run that way, meaning your test settings. If you set to run all rows, then everything gets executed for every row that you have on the global sheet. On the local sheet, your action gets iterated with for every row. As long as you have the right data and the right columns, you should not have any problem. So global is accessible for all actions, and a global row runs the whole script. And now, meaning, if you have multiple rows, it run multiple times. And action is specific to action. You have multiple rows in action, you can run the action multiple times within the your workflow. Again, how you use it, that's what you can do. Now how you apply to it to your application, that's entirely different. I mean, we just saw that we split the action correctly so that it has been modularized in such a way that that specific section of the whole workflow can be iterated. What if you can't do that? That's how you need to figure out. You need to learn the application and then learn to modularize it in actions in repeatable way. That way, one single entity of action. Once, say for example, once you log in and you have an exit here in the middle, you have make a reservation, you're able to iterate this action. Say for example, you log in. If you want to log in multiple times, you cannot log in multiple times until you exit it. Say you want to log in and log in and log in, it's just not possible. You have to log in, exit, and then you can log in. So I hope that helps you understand, or at least help you think about actions in terms of making them repeatable, using iterations and with multiple rows. And you can only do this if you design your actions properly. Primarily, you're breaking your whole workflow into multiple small chunks, and each chunk is an action. And if you cut it properly, then you can do it. If not, then you have to go and revisit the whole workflow and your actions and redesign that thing to make it work for you. Okay. Well, we'll look more into actions in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching.